Hey guys, welcome back to LittleLee and Rose. I am Summer Noel, and today we are going to do what I call a cup, everything but the kitchen sink. I'm just kidding. We're just going to do so much in this cup. It's going to end up being a little bit slightly longer tutorial than you're used to from me because we're doing so much on this cup. We're going to do an ombre. We're going to do a peekaboo. We're going to work with glow. We're going to work with just regular old stickers. You guys have been asking me a lot for all of these things, and I'm just going to do them all in one cup. This is going to be a cup for the fall. Because we're coming into the holiday season and you guys are going to get slammed with orders. So this is going to be a really, really cool one that people are going to love. So I wanted to show you these techniques. So again, we're going to be doing peekaboos, ombres, chunky glitters, regular stickers, glow in the dark. We're going to be using vinyl for the peekaboos. We got some gorgeous glitter selections. So today we are beginning using Shocking, Seductive, and Sandman. They're all from WickedShimmerSupply.com. I believe those are the three that we're going to use in total. I might throw one extra glitter in there or two as we go along, and I tweak this cup to be perfect. But that's what we're going to be working with, and they're all from WickedShimmerSupply.com. As you guys see me through this tutorial, you're going to see me using other tools. The silicone brush that I use to apply my epoxy, nitrile gloves, my chemical mask, tweezers, weeding tools, scissors, all that stuff. Anything that's harder to find or an unusual tool, I'm going to put in the description box for you guys and have a link for you guys for easy shopping, because I know I'm probably going to get a lot of questions about the glow powders, maybe the glow paints, and certain things like that. So just check the drop-down menu. I'm sure you'll find what you need there. If not, feel free to drop questions in the question area for me, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Do keep in mind, I try to respond quickly, but I do have triplets, and this is not a full-time job for me, so I am just trying to get to you guys as fast as I can, but it may take me a little time to respond to your questions. But I will get them eventually answered. So let's see. We are going to start. I'm going to get this cup prepped. I am going to base paint this with kind of like a glow neon orangey color, neon pinky orangey. And so if you don't know how to prep a cup, jump back on my channel and look for my how to prep a cup. That will bring you up to the stage will be when I come back. So I'm going to jump off, get ready, get this cup set, and we'll be right back, guys. So we're back and we are ready to jump in on this cup. I just want to show you guys what I used. I first painted this white, did a couple thin coats of white. I didn't want any drips, but it ultimately won't matter if you have drips because we're going to be covering it. And then I went and I want this cup to the back part to be very, very bright. So I used a neon orange. If you want it less bright, if you want it more traditional, go with a regular orange, not a neon. But I want this to really pop through the purple and yellow glitter that we're going to be working with. So I wanted it neon, 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 Day Glow orange. So this is the one I use. It's Rust-Oleum Day Glow. And we are now going to jump in and do, I'm going to move that out of the way. We're going to do the hang method to apply this chunky glitter. I want this glitter to lay down really, really flat so we don't have to do a ton of layers of epoxy over the top to get to the next step. So we are going to do, I'm actually going to cover this one. Sometimes I tape off the lip, but this one I want to go all the way to the top. So we are doing top to bottom hang method, and we are adding this glitter. So you are going to watch me, if you've never watched me apply epoxy, I don't do it in every single video. I don't walk you through every step in every single video because a lot of you have seen tons of my videos. But what I'm basically going to do is take my epoxy part A and B. The brand that I use is mix equal parts. So I'm going to do equal parts. I only need 2 milliliters. So it's very, very small amount. If you can't measure out 2 milliliters, you can use a syringe. I'm extremely good at eyeballing this, so I eyeball it. But if you're not, if you're kind of new, use a syringe, a hospital syringe, and suck up 1 milliliter. Put it in there. Use a separate syringe and suck up B. Label them A and B so you can reuse them. You don't need to clean them as long as you keep using A for A and B for B. And then squeeze those two together, stir them, and you will have your 2 mLs of epoxy. Now, I get told all the time that this method does not work. It works wonderfully if you're doing it correctly. If you're trying to use 5 mLs because you're struggling, sorry, I'm going to put my gloves on while I'm talking to you guys. If you're using 5 mLs because you're having a hard time doing it with 2, then it's probably not going to work out right. I can do a full 30-ounce cup with 2 milliliters of epoxy. So, and it works beautifully. If you're using more epoxy, you're going to get drips and have issues. So the goal is to use as little epoxy as you can, and you have to work really hard. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cup epoxied, and we will be back. I'm going to put you guys on high speed, just so you can kind of watch the technique. Oh, and wear your chemical mask and your nitrile gloves, guys. All right, guys, we are back. I'm going to sound a little bit muffled, a little bit like Darth Vader. I've got my chemical mask on still because this epoxy is still doing its chemical reaction, and I don't want to breathe in any of those vapors. We are going to use Sandman from Wicked Shimmer. This is going to be our underneath layer. This is like the prettiest orange chunky glitter I've ever seen. It's incredible. It has some color shift to it. It's very, very pretty. So we're going to do this all over this cup. I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper underneath my glitter spill. And because glitter doesn't stick to parchment paper, so it's really easy to pour it back in using glitter. I don't use shakers, guys. If you've seen any of my other videos, I don't like taking the cap off the shaker to have to put the glitter back. So I just keep them in my bags or in little jars, and nothing with a lid that I have to peel off to be able to replace the glitter. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap the glitter all over the cup. I'm not going to worry about this or that. I'm just going to get it on. Okay. There's no wrong or right way. There's just the easy way. Just do it. Just spill it. Now, I get asked a lot, can you just roll it in the glitter? You cannot, because if you do that, you're going to contaminate all your glitter with little bits of sticky epoxy, and it will all stick together, and it will mess up your whole pile of glitter. So that's why you just want this, because if it touches the epoxy on this, it sticks. Okay. Tap it off. Pick some up, maybe add, see if there's anywhere else that I missed. We're just going to go over it real quick. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. So shake it. All right, I'm going to go grab the second glitter color, and I will be right back. All right, still have my mask on, guys, but we're going to put some of this orange fine glitter. Usually I will mix my fine in with my chunky, but I don't want to contaminate that gorgeous Sandman, the whole bag of it. So I'm going to sprinkle the fine over the top and just let it kind of fill in the cracks. Because like I said, I normally mix them all together, but that Sandman, I want to keep it pretty pure. And this is just going to fill in the cracks, add some more extra iridescence. I'm hanging this up here. Don't remember the name of this orange, guys. It's just like a bright kind of day glow orange. I love it, though. It's such a creamy, beautiful orange color. If I can find the tag that I originally got it at, I will put the name of this one in the description box, guys, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it because, again, I don't keep them in shakers. All right, so I'm going to do that all the way around the cup, guys, and we will be back. Actually, I can even just tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this cup out, go all the way around with this fine glitter. Then I'm going to take my glove and I'm going to press all the chunky glitter down to the cup. So I get a nice, good seal, and it goes nice and flat. All right, we'll be back in a minute, guys. All right, so we've got all the fine glitter on there, just kind of filling in the gaps. And now we're just going to take our hands and we're going to press the glitter. Some of it's going to fall off. That's totally okay. Just the glitter that probably shouldn't have been there in the first place because it had no place to go. It was just barely holding on by an edge. So we're just going to smush this down. What this does, it makes it really easy to cover the cup with epoxy. All right, so you see how flat that glitter went? I also run my finger around the rim and knock off any extra glitter that's on the rim. That way I don't have to do as much cleanup at the end. Again, sorry I'm so buffled, guys, but this has still got the wet curing epoxy on it, and I don't want to breathe that in, so I got my chemical mask on. All right, that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to let this sucker cure. I'll probably do about 9 to 10 hours, and then I'm going to put it on my turner and do a layer of epoxy. If you've never worked with epoxy, it's 2 parts. Make sure when you're buying epoxy that you're buying a food-safe, FDA-compliant epoxy resin. I have a bunch of the different brands that I've used and loved in the description box below. I've got it linked so you guys can easily shop through the stuff that I've worked with and used and loved. So most brands, all the ones that I've got linked are mixed equal parts, A and B.
So you measure out equal parts. You can use the little medicine cups that have the measuring scales on them, or you can suck it up with a syringe, have an A and B syringe so you can reuse them over and over without cleaning them. You just don't want to mix them up because then it will harden and be done. And then you stick it on your rotating cup turner. And if you have never seen a rotating cup turner, join my Facebook group. We talk about them all the time. It's a special built tumbler turner. And it keeps your cup spinning, and you put the epoxy on it, and it spins, and the epoxy settles in really nice. Or you can do hang method, but hang method on this chunky is going to take more epoxy than normal. If you don't know what hang method is, jump back on my channel. I have a tutorial all on how to do hang method if you don't have a turner. And all right, so the next time you guys see this cup, it will have a whole layer of epoxy done on it. I'm not going to do this one on camera today because I know this is going to be a longer tutorial, so I'm going to try to save some time for you guys. But we will be back with this cup all epoxied. So the cup is completely epoxied and covered and coated. It looks gorgeous. I used the silicone makeup brush to apply my epoxy. That way my hands don't get all gooped up. I will link all this stuff, you guys, in the drop-down menu. I know you're going to ask me a lot of questions. I will link the turner that I use. I will link all the little tools that I use, the epoxy brands that I use. I did forget to mention a step because I did it alongside doing the other cup that I've got turning that matches this one, is that before I epoxied, I spray painted this one with clear spray paint over the top of that glitter because some of these big chunky glitters will repel the epoxy. So I did a really, like 2 good coats of clear spray over the top of it and let it dry before I put it on this turner and put the epoxy on. So don't forget that step, guys. I would hate for you to use a certain type of glitter that repels the epoxy and then it is a big mess for you. So any big chunky glitters you do, always spray clear coat over the top of it, all right, guys? That'll help you keep you from getting divots and crevices in your epoxy because it's being repelled from those. So we're going to let this turn overnight. I want to get a really, really nice, firm, hard coat. And then we will do the next steps, and it starts getting exciting from there. Woo! All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, guys, it's been overnight with this guy turning. So now it's pretty cured up. Nice and whole. It's slightly tacky to the touch, but very, very, very little bit. It's still curing. But what we're going to do now is we're going to start adding the glow features to this cup. So this glow-in-the-dark spray paint is basically white. I mean clear, not white. Sorry, clear. They sell the they sell the double glow, which I prefer. But my nephew was here making stuff, and he used all my double glow. So I only have my single glow. The double glow, I've seen it at Walmart. They don't carry it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I wish they did because you could use the coupon, but they don't. But I found it at Walmart for the double glow. But this is the single glow. We're going to go ahead and use this, just do lots of coats of it. So I'm going to take this cup outside. I'm going to coat this now with probably 3 layers of this glow just to get it to really, really glow well. And then we're going to let that completely dry. And then we're going to put another layer of epoxy over the top to seal the glow paint in so we don't accidentally scratch it or something down as we do the rest of the process of this cup. Yeah, so, all right, I'm going to go jump into it, guys. We'll be right back.
Okay, guys, we are ready. You can see the cup doesn't change much once you put the glow spray paint on it because the glow spray paint is actually clear. It has a little, I guess it would have a tiny tint to it, but, I mean, it really sprays your cup and it looks clear. So it mutes it just a little bit, but very little. That's why I wanted the vibrancy behind the cup, because I knew we were going to be adding the glow. I've got my A and B epoxy mixed. I've got my silicone brush ready. I'm going to seal all this glow spray in by putting the next coat of epoxy over the top. It needs 2 coats anyway to completely cover that glitter up anyway. And we're going to do a really good peekaboo with this bad boy. So I want to make sure it's very, very, very coated and covered up. I don't want to be able to scratch that glow spray paint away. So that's why I put it on top and sandwich it in between my layers of epoxy. Now I've got my torch ready to go. We definitely want to make sure we pop bubbles on this round because you don't want the bubbles in there because even though you won't be able to see them because there's so much going on, you'll be able to feel the texture of the cup in the cup. I guess it doesn't matter too much because we're going to be covering it up with some more glitter, but just to be thorough about this and teach you guys the right way, not the lazy way, and we're going to go ahead and torch it. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so I always scrape my popsicle sticks off. Okay, sorry, I have a brick weighing this down because I don't want to anchor this to my table, so my brick holds it in place for me. All right, we are going to jump off and do this in high speed for you guys so you don't have to tediously watch. Okay, so I actually mixed too much epoxy, which is fine because I'm going to move on to the next tutorial. I am wearing my chemical mask, guys. Always make sure you wear this when working with epoxies. The current epoxy that I'm working here is Art, the Artworks or Art Resin, and sorry, I got them confused. There's two of them. They're both VOC free, but I still wear my mask because you just never know. They may tell you it's safe, but I'm over precautious and I have the mask and I'm used to wearing it, so I wear it in my gloves. Okay. So I'm going to use this epoxy for my next tutorial, but you can see how that just got super, super glossy and beautiful. I torched out the bubbles. This works amazing. For getting bubbles out, guys, you want to use a torch, not a heat gun. The heat gun is more for moving the epoxy, like if you want to do a glitter flow or working with alcohol inks. These are a million times better for popping bubbles because this pops the bubbles with the CO2. It's a little bit about the heat, but more about the CO2. With the fire, it actually attracts the bubble and pulls it up to the surface and pops it. So that is why you use a torch. The CO2 in the torch is what pops the bubbles, not the heat. Okay, because the fire creates CO2. All right, we're going to let this sucker cure probably all day. Maybe I will be able to see if the texture on it is good enough for us to move on. But most likely I'm going to let it sit for 24 hours, so it's really, really hard because you don't want to put your decals on that you're going to do your peekaboos on before it's super duper hard because otherwise that decal gets really stuck to the tackiness of the epoxy and it's super hard to get off. So I like overweight on these. I will let this sit to the side probably till tomorrow, completely until tomorrow, and then we will do the next steps. All right, guys, see you on the other side.
Okay, guys, we are going to get ready to start the glow-in-the-dark peekaboo. It's going to be super cute. I've got some of these already ready and set. I'm going to kind of make it look like a pumpkin patch on the bottom with all the glow in the dark. So I've got my decals printed out from my Cricut machine. I just did some pumpkins. I just reversed them. So I have the regular one, and then I reversed it and did the hollow one. So it'll give you totally different effects on the cup. I did that because I like a lot of texture in my cups. I don't want a flat cup. So having them just slightly different just kind of adds that fun element to it. So I'm just going to peel it away. Sorry, I didn't do too much rubbing on this one. I should have prepped it a little bit better, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to put this bottom one here. So these are just going to be your peekaboo stickers, guys. So my epoxy is not smooth at all, but it doesn't matter because we're not at the point where it matters. We're just going to glitter over this. So it doesn't matter. So if it had a big sharp point or something on it, then I would have buffed that down a little bit. But again, like I said, we're covering this up with glitter, and more glitter. And so all the lumps and bumps don't really matter. All right, so we're going to put this one up here. Maybe like, I want him a little crooked. There we go. So down and rub, pull that away. Now we're going to add some little ones as we go around the cup. I've printed them out in different sizes, again, just to add more visual texture, so they're not all just flat one size. And they're going to just be speckled around the cup in the different sizes. Okay. Again, guys, you don't have to do pumpkins. You can do witches or cats or whatever you want. I like black cats. I'm just kind of giving you guys some ideas and some inspiration for doing a fun holiday one. I want you guys to see the glow peekaboo glow through, and just kind of how you would dot some vinyls around. Let's see that. So we'll go more like Perfect. I want a lot of stickers. Like I said, I kind of want it to look like a pumpkin patch, and I want a lot of glow feature coming through. So that's why I'm going to add quite a few stickers. Now these aren't going to show a lot of glow, but they're just so fun. I wanted to add them to the cup. Let's see. Can I squeeze this one in here? Sure can. It's going to be right under that one. Okay. And we're going to grab one more of the baby pumpkins. Let's see. Let's put the baby pumpkin up here. So I just want to gauge to make sure I have enough room to leave for my for when I put my words on. I don't want them to cover up the pumpkins. So that's why I am staying around the bottom of the cup, but then just kind of stacking and layering them all over so that I have it looking like a pumpkin patch. But like I said, sorry, this one's being a little difficult. So guys, if you have a hard time removing your decal, I just bend it like that, and it just super bend it and push it down. Because sometimes they don't want to release, which is fine. We'll figure it out. Doop. There you go. So I just kind of bent the backing away and just pressed it onto the cup. So we're going to put this one up here. And you guys laugh. You're going to laugh that I'm putting out a fall season one going into the summer. But I'm telling you, if you are not prepared for the holiday orders, you are going to get slammed and you're going to miss a lot of sales. So I will encourage you to get your fall and Christmas cups started now. So that way when you get all the special orders, you have time to do them. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this cup, I'm going to make sure it's really pressed down well because we don't want any of the spray paint to go underneath it. So I am going to go spray paint it, matching colors. So I'm going to do a yellow ombre into a purple, that deep purple. So I'm going to go spray paint this out with a slight ombre spray paint. And you guys will see when I come back, and we will come back and pull these decals. All right, guys, I completely forgot this step because this is not a normal thing for me. But the last time I did one of these peekaboos, I showed you I used the tap method to find my vinyl, and it works just fine for me. So I never thought of anything else because I'm like, this technique works. Well, you guys are amazing, and a lot of you are in my Facebook group, and somebody reached out and said, have you ever thought about putting a little hot glue drop so that when it's under the glitter, it really stands out? And I said, well, holy heck, that's a genius idea. So we are going to do that today. And I'm just going to drop a little glue on these. And I have a glue gun from my wedding. So I'm just going to put a little drop of glue on each little piece here. I just need to kind of, it's more just to give you a gauge of where each one is. It doesn't have to be like a ton of glue or on every tiny little one, because once you know where the pumpkin is, you generally know where the rest of the pumpkin is going to be. So we'll see. This is going to be the test run because I've never done this before. So I'm just kind of, don't want to get any of that on my fur. Just kind of put a drop on each pumpkin. Nothing big, nothing fancy. And that one I already know is going to be under there. All right, so that should be good. So I just put a couple drops here and there on the main parts. That way I can find them. And now I'm going to let that dry and cure up. Not cure up, it's not epoxy. I guess it cures too. Cools down and gets hard. Pull all these spider webs off, and then I'm going to paint it. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Okay, guys, remember I said it does not matter what the underneath epoxy looks like because we are going to cover this up with a whole bunch more stuff. So you can see all the ripples and stuff from the epoxy. That's fine. You can see all these weird bubbles. That's where the not super glue, the hot glue is to show me where my marks from my pumpkins are. You have seen me do the contrasting color and the quadruple color ombres, and those were with epoxy, and I did it with the hang method. But today I'm going to show you how to do it with spray adhesive. So this is Scotch Super 77. I really like this one. Also, the ELMERS one is really, really good, has really good grip. So I am going to do my ombre today. It's basically contrasting colors again, and we'll do that on camera for you guys, but I'm gonna go outside and spray this because I don't wanna spray this inside even with my workshop wide open, because anything like the overspray of this will destroy anything. Like you wanna definitely do this outside on the dirt, over the dirt, because it will stick to everything. And it's very hard to get rid of it once you got it on there, okay guys? So definitely spray this outside. I will be right back. Okay guys, you can see, I'm gonna bring that up real close. You can see it's got that spray adhesive all over it. All right, now I'm gonna let this set for just a minute because it's really, really, really wet right now, and as it dries just a smidgen, it gets more tacky. So we're gonna wait about 20 seconds. All right guys, we are gonna jump in. This is probably perfect. So I wanna start with my non-dominant colors first for this one, and I'm gonna just do this copper, and I just want a little copper along the rim. So I'm just gonna tap this in. I'm laughing because I got my fan on, and I was gonna be like, oh no, the fan, but it's actually helping because it's blowing and just doing a dusting for me. I had my fan open because we've got another tutorial going on, and I needed to spray stuff inside to show you guys something. So I got that big old fan on. So this one I'm just kind of tapping to get a little bit of the copper right on the edge. I wasn't gonna do this copper until I saw it, and then I was like, holy smokes, that's the perfect copper fall color. So we're going for it. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I'm right on the edge. I'm just gonna kind of dump some to make sure that edge is very well covered, because it's people notice all the edges when they're getting their cups. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so that's gonna be color number 1. All right, and now we are gonna use the yellow. Again, my glitters are from Wicked Shimmer. She puts out awesome stuff, so I love her products. So this is the Shocking. It's gonna be the yellow. I'm gonna tap it on right on top of that orange and shimmy it down. And this is why I based with the orange, I mean the yellow, so that this kind of sticks. I mean, it helps beef up the color of the yellow a little bit, and just let it shimmy down. So tap and shimmy and tap and shimmy. Put it on, tap it on and shimmy it down. Coming around last spot here. Tap it on and shimmy it down a little more. Shimmy it down a little farther. There we go. Kind of getting that. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna shake that off. I can't tap the bottom because it's covered in stickiness. All right, I'm gonna put that off to the side. Then I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take this yellow and I'm gonna take a little bit of the copper. And I'm not gonna mix all the yellow, probably about half of what fell down. Save the rest of this yellow back in the container. And that is why I don't use shakers. It's so much easier to clean up when you don't have to take the lid of the shaker off. Okay, then we're gonna take that. Oop, jumped right out of there. Swirl that around. So we have a nice blend there. Lift it back out. And, oh, hot, I touched the glitter just a little. That won't matter. We'll get that all covered. So now I'm just gonna take this along this line. Same, I'm not gonna press it, I'm just gonna shimmy it. So see, that added a little bit more of the drop down to that ombre for that orange. And it just blends it out, softens that line a little bit. If you want it even more so, just tap it on with your hand. But I don't want it too much more than what I'm getting. Just perfect little bit to fall down. Shimmy that down. All right, and I'm gonna continue that all the way around. I just gotta grab this, but you guys have seen it, so I'm not gonna make you tediously watch that. All right, guys, now we're gonna do the purple. This is when it starts getting real fun and this cup starts getting gorgeous. I mean, this is gorgeous too, but it looks a little goofy with all these little bubbles and glue. And so we're just gonna cover the bottom with the purple. Oh, this purple is beautiful. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna go turn off my fan. That was a total fail. I should have done that. All right, sorry guys. Oh man, that would have been a super fail because the yellow everywhere is not going to be that obvious, but the purple being a dark color all over my house, I don't want that blowing everywhere. So I'm just going to start by making it nice and thick here at the bottom. Just tapping it on, rotating, tapping it on, working our way up the cup. So I get asked all the time, guys, can you roll the cup into the glitter? You do not want to do that. Usually because glitter is not cheap. And if you roll this into the glitter, you're going to contaminate all the glitter that doesn't actually stick to the cup, but gets touched by the glue or the epoxy or whatever you've got going on. That glitter is then going to stick to it's going to just clump up and ruin your glitter. All right, so now we're going to start doing the ombre. I've got quite a bit of glitter left in my bag, so I'm just going to go and so I'm going to go and I'm going to shimmy the other way. All right. So we're going to just put the purple on and then let it shimmy up the cup. I am not sure I'm going to like this purple and yellow. I thought, oh, those would be beautiful fall colors. But I don't really like the way it's coming out. So I might end up covering up all the yellow and just going with purple and that copper at the top. Because it's going to blend. We'll give it a chance. I only like to make things if I'm going to absolutely love it. And I'm not sure I'm going to like this yellow. It's just going to look dirty with the purple in it. Yeah. I feel like the yellow just looks dirty with the purple in it. So I'm going to go in and respray some of the spray adhesive in here. And I'm going to just cover up that yellow, guys. Give me just a second. Because it just looks dirty with the purple in it. I'm not a fan. I'll be back. All right, so if you follow me in my other videos, you know that everything is a work in progress. Sometimes I start with a plan and I change my plan midway through, just like this. Because I just did not like that yellow, but this purple is absolutely bang on amazing. So we're just gonna shimmy that into the copper. Cover up that yellow. Whoop. All right, looks like we got pretty good. We're gonna just make sure we got just a little glitter left in my bag. Might as well just let it tap out all over the cup. Make sure we got really good coverage. Okay, and then I'm gonna blow it just a little. Okay, I can see, sorry guys, I gotta rotate the cup there. On my hand, I can still see some yellow coming through here, so we're gonna put some glitter on there. Tap it down, make sure that sticks. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit. I actually really like just that little edge of copper. You'll see I'm gonna put some detail up here on the top that copper will really stand out. Put some more there. There. Fun with glitter. It's going to be everywhere in my house today. Perfect. All right, I'm going to let this dry for about 20 minutes, guys. We'll come back and we will pull those vinyls and see that glow in the dark. Ah, my hand got stuck. Okay. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, we are back. This sucker has sat for a while. I did one very thin coat of spray paint just so the glitter would kind of stick a little bit better and not get all over my hands while I was doing this. So we're going to just start and get in here and start lifting these decals up very carefully. I'm just kind of following my lines of where I put my little dots of glue. And that's going to kind of give me an idea of where I'm going. That was a genius idea. Thank you for the awesome YouTube watcher that suggested that to me. Sorry, you guys, not everybody has their names on their YouTube account, so I don't know the name. So I can't give credit, but thank you, thank you. It is awesome. It's obviously a game changer here and working well for me. So I'm just going to pull some of these up. I'm going to put you guys on high speed because I know this is terribly tedious to watch. But I want to get started and just show you guys how it starts. So you can see it's revealing that really pretty bright orange. And this is why I want to do the neon orange behind, because I want it to be super bright coming through there with the pumpkin and be really obvious against the purple. And it's already looking awesome without me even getting all the detail out of it yet. So I'm very, very excited and very happy about the choice of that neon. But you guys will see I'm working on the other one as well, but I'm making it into a totally different cup. But that way you can see the difference between the light colored base and the dark. This is already pretty. This makes me think of Hocus Pocus. Now I want to watch that movie. Okay, guys, I'm going to put you on high speed, and that was Random Thought by Summer. I'm going to put you on high speed and finish this up. Okay, so now we have all those pumpkins revealed. It looks like my little pumpkin patch. It's super duper cute. And you can see why I use just a tiny bit of that copper along the edge, because it really brings your eye all the way. It like ties in the whole cup. So just that little bit of copper peeking up out of the edge, plus the orange in these pumpkins is gonna make this, like, it's gonna be incredible under epoxy. And like I said, all these pumpkins now will glow in the dark in this shape. It's gonna be super duper fun. So I'm gonna get this under a level of a round of epoxy. I'm not gonna do it on camera. You've already seen me epoxy, just mix A and B together. I've got a clear coat spray already on it. I will probably add one layer of clear coat spray before I epoxy. So I'm gonna clear coat spray it, then let it completely dry, put it on my turner and get a level of a round of epoxy put on here. Then I'm gonna go back through, we'll come back and I will show you all the extra little details we're gonna do on this cup. We just want one layer of epoxy before we do any more details. All right, guys, we'll be back. Okay, guys, this has one coat of epoxy over the glitter. It's not a heavy coat, so you don't want to sand a lot. You got to be very, very, very gentle. But it's got a few of these little raspberries, is what I'll call them, like little spots that are a little rough. But I don't want to sand this to death because you'll go right through and hit the glitter. And even though this is really, really good craft glitter, I just try to avoid doing it just for the look of the cup. So what I have is 220 grit, and I'm just gonna rub where I can see, you can see where the little spots were. I'm just gonna work those down so it softens them up a little bit and gives me a good smooth surface to start applying the rest of my decals. And again, I know you guys will probably ask, and I think I mentioned it in the very beginning of this tutorial, but this is Wicked Shimmer Glitter. She's awesome. She has a beautiful selection. Also, if you've been trying to find a gold glitter for the bee cup that I do, she's got one listed on her website that specifically is Summer's Buzz, so that it's very easy to identify which one is the bee gold glitter that I use on my cup. So it's super cute. But she's all the UV glitters that I use and all my color shifting glitters are from her. That awesome tool that I use that's in my fabric tutorial, it's from her. No, she does not pay me to say all this stuff. I just really love her company, so I want to watch her small business grow. That would be amazing. So there's some little bumps here along the bottom. So we're just gonna sand that down just a little bit to get a nice smooth edge. I get asked a lot about this, how do you get the smooth edges? So I just make sure I got there's two things you can do for smooth edges, guys. One, you can put your epoxy on and save a little bit to the side, and about 40 minutes later, when the epoxy's cured up a little bit and is thick, you can drizzle it along the edge. That keeps it from, because it's thicker and it's cured up, it doesn't slide and move away from the edge as easy, so it will stay and give you a better coverage. Or you just make sure you have enough epoxy down on like your rough edges like this, so that you can do a good sanding on it and not break through to that glitter, and that way it'll give you a smooth surface that way, and you just re-epoxy over the top of it and it will smooth it out. All right, guys, so that's my two ways for getting my edges smooth. It's one, just saving a little epoxy back and applying it a bit later once it's cured up, and two is coming through and just giving it a quick sand with a 220 grit, and then another layer of epoxy. So just kind of whatever your preference is. Okay, so that feels pretty good. That's the next little layer of epoxy, once I start covering my decals, is gonna make that real nice and smooth. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Like, there's still some ripples in here, but I know I'm about to add more epoxy to this because I've got to put my decals and all my details on here, and keep adding some fun glow features. So I know it's gonna get more epoxy. So this, really what I'm doing is just sanding down the sharp bits that are really poking up pretty high, and that way it smooths them out just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna go wash this cup and we'll be back and start adding all the fun stuff to it. Okay guys, we're back. It's sanded, it's all washed, and as I was washing it, I realized, because I'm at a weird angle to this cup when I'm filming for you guys, so I couldn't see that I actually did nick through and sand all the way down a little too far. And I wasn't gonna show you this, but I realized you guys need to know all my little secrets. That's what I'm here for. I'm teaching you my little secrets. So I am gonna show you this. So this is purple. I got these permanent markers. You can use whatever brand. I got these permanent markers at the dollar store. They're awesome. They're just like the fancy brand, but they're a lot cheaper, and I use these for my alcohol inks. So what you do is you just find a permanent marker that's similar, very close in color to your glitter, and I just permanent marker over the top of the little spots that are discolored from sanding too far. Now, this is the glitter itself did not discolor. What happened was I actually sanded through the glitter, not paying attention to the orange glitter base, and that's what you're seeing poke through, is actually the little bits of orange. So I'm just gonna touch this with my permanent marker, and once this has epoxy on it, you will never see these, but all it will do is just kind of camouflage those light colored spots so they're not noticeable anymore. It's all in art form. We'll just say I'm doing hand painting for the color on my cup. I'm hand painting purple on my cup. So that is my little secret, you guys. If you don't like that, you don't have to do it. You can put spray adhesive, re-add some glitter, do more layers of epoxy, but I like to think smarter, not harder. And that just sounds like a whole lot of work when all I have to do is go grab a marker and do a few little dots, and it's back to perfect. All right, guys, so now we are gonna, okay, so that's my little secret. Don't tell anyone. So now we're gonna move on. I have an X-Acto knife, an old, just beat up X-Acto knife. It even has the tip broken off. I'm actually gonna just use this as a scooper. You'll see in a minute. And we've got our decal that I wanna put on. It's fall, y'all. It's gonna be cute. I was gonna put something about pumpkin spice, but I don't even drink coffee, so I don't drink pumpkin spice. I thought that would be a really cute thing if, like, pumpkin spice and everything nice would be cute on this cup or something for the fall. Then in my Facebook group, I have been asked a lot to just work with plain stickers so people can see how you can work with these. So this is just a pack of stickers from the dollar store in the kids art department. And so we're gonna use these fall stickers. They're just plain old stickers, nothing fancy about them. They were just from the dollar store. But I am getting a lot of questions about this in my Facebook group, so I wanted to show you guys in a tutorial. Then I promise you guys I will link this because I know I'm going to get a million questions about this. This glow powder is absolutely stinking awesome. It's a pack of, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 colors. They all glow different colors. So you have orange, white, pink, light green, dark green, teal, regular blue, darker orange, neon yellow, and purple. They're all just these all rad colored powders, glow powders. We're gonna work with those on this cup to add some fun color glows. We're going to use Mod Podge for that, for this little step. So we're going to put that off to the side. I promise you guys I will link this. I found a really, really good deal on these. So I will give you the link that I used to buy these the good deal on these, because this is super duper fun. You're going to see me use these in another really, really cool tutorial coming up. And that one will blow your mind. You guys, I get so excited to put these videos out for you guys that I'm like, I want them done now. But this one is, I'm going to do a tutorial with these that's going to blow your mind with the glow features on it. Anyway, so moving on. Okay, so we're going to use these glow powders. We're going to use some stickers. We're going to put on our decal. I've kind of looked at this and decided I want to put my decal. It was right here, I believe. Yeah, it's right here. So I've just printed this out on my Cricut. And this is another little tip for you guys. So I'm using orange holographic. This one, I thought when I got it, it came in a pack of other holographics. I'm like, I'm never going to use that. When am I ever going to make an orange cup? And then the holidays hit, and it's like fall, Thanksgiving, this is a beautiful holographic orange, and it works for all of that stuff. Or if orange is just your favorite color, it's going to look beautiful. So, but this is my trick, is holographic vinyl is a stinker to weed. Even reverse weeding, it is just a pain. So what I have done, and this is my little hack for your Cricut, I think it works for Silhouette too, but I'm not completely confident in that. I don't have a Silhouette, I work with a Cricut. You put it in, you put it on customs, select premium holographic vinyl, then it'll select that, and then you can go onto your Cricut window and it will say default, and just click on that and go down and click on more. So that's gonna put the pressure of your blade as more. So it's gonna cut just a tiny bit deeper, then and put more pressure on that blade to cut. Then what I do, and then it finishes the cut. So it runs through and it cuts. And when it says all finished and it stops cutting and that little light starts blinking, don't unload the mat. Leave the mat in there and push the C button, the cut button again. And it will stay in the exact same spot, and it will literally cut in the exact identical spots twice. It will cut the second time. That way we'll guarantee a really, really clean cut, smooth cut all the way around, and you can just peel that vinyl away, and your weeded vinyl, and just peel it away without any of it sticking or attaching or catching. So that is my little secret, is run your holographic vinyl through twice on the more setting, like put custom setting, holographic vinyl, select more as your pressure setting, and cut it twice. Don't push the unload button. If you accidentally push the unload button, you cannot load it back in and recut it. It will not load, it will not cut in the identical spot. You have to leave it in there and just push the cut button twice. All right, guys, hopefully I didn't drive you nuts with that reiterating over and over and over. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick this down right here. This is where I want to go. I'm gonna go slightly over that pumpkin because I'm gonna put stuff on the top. That's why I'm not putting it all the way at the top, and you will see in a minute. Okay, so we're gonna rub that down real well. If you're having problems, guys, with your vinyl lifting when you epoxy, one, it's because it's probably not rubbed and pressed down all the way. But if you think you're rubbing it all the way and you're just like, I still can't get it, and it's lifting under the epoxy, take this and heat this with a heat gun just a little bit. And it will like almost activate the glue behind the sticker and really grip onto your cup really well. I haven't had that problem in a long time, so I haven't used it, but I do know that that is an issue that people are having. So I just want to put that out there so you guys have that info. So you can hit it with a little heat gun just to really get that vinyl to grip. I'm laughing because now some of my vinyl wasn't sticking. It's going. No matter how much you think you're rubbing well, sometimes you just miss a spot here and there. All right, so you can see that this cup is still sanded. It doesn't matter because we're gonna put more epoxy over it and all that sanding will go away. And we're not using water slide here. If you're using a clear water slide, you cannot put clear water slide on the sanded part because the clear water slide, you will see the sandingness behind the clear water slide. Man, I'm giving you all guys kinds of good tips. So you can't put a clear water slide over sanded epoxy because it will not go glossy underneath the water slide. Okay, moving on. Sorry guys, just thinking of these things as I'm going. So here we go. We are gonna put on some stickers. These I'm gonna put along the top. These are just really thin, almost like window cling stickers. They're not window clings, they're actual stickers. But we're gonna put these along the top here. So it's meant to look kind of like a tree is kind of hanging out over our pumpkin patch. I'm gonna overlap them. I don't want them all to be one level, just to keep them fun. Put a big one on there. Here we go. I'm just dotting them around, guys. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this one. I don't want to cover up my little copper ombre from the top all the way, so I'm being careful to make sure some of it's still showing in spots. But this is, again, where you place these is completely preference. You can do it however you want. Same with the pumpkins. And this is really just to inspire you of this technique of layering all the different glitters and the peekaboos. I mean, you guys can seriously do this however you want. I'm going to put this one. Oh, no, that's too similar to that one. Sorry, guys. I'm being like OCD here on you guys. So I'm going to put one lower down. And then work my way up and build it up. This is supposed to just make it look kind of like it's a fall tree hanging out. Oops, you know what? I'm going to put this one down under that one. Nope, I'm not, because I don't want to rip that one. Okay, so we're going to go. That's identical to that one. Sorry, I'm being OCD, guys. I know it's tedious to watch me do this. Okay, well, you guys get the idea. I'm going to just keep on applying these decals around the top. I want to make sure I don't want to cover up my pretty little copper edge. I like that that's peeking out from behind my leaves. And I'm going to just kind of finish applying these, some low down, like you saw me do here. I put the low down one first, then layered over the top and layered over the top, and it covered up all the stems. So you can kind of bring your image down by starting low and working your way up. Yep, cool, guys. I'm going to finish applying these and we'll be right back. Okay, guys, now we've got all the stickers on. You see I kind of layered it to come down and kind of frame out my little decal in the middle with the leaves coming down. And I just went around the back and just finished up putting those stickers there. Again, if you don't have a dollar store that has these stickers, you can get these at Home Depot, not Home Depot, that would be funny. Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They sell all kinds of wonderful stickers, and if you wait, they put them on sale like every other week, or you can use your coupon and get them really, really cheap. Anyway, that's there, and I like that these had like the little gold fringe on them just to add more shine and a lot more detail. And like you see, I left the copper rim on the front. Now you kind of see why I wanted to do the copper into the yellow, because I kind of wanted this to be very highlighted. But like ultimately, like I said, the yellow, I didn't like the way the yellow was looking. So always a work in progress, happy accidents. We ended up with just the copper ring. So now we're going to add some fun little glow details to this. I'm going to work with the orange and what they're calling red. It's kind of more pinky, but I know that the glow that's under here is going to glow more green. And I want to stick with the fall colors and kind of have the reddish oranges colors on here. So I'm going to go in and add some details with my super fine tip, little skinny, tiny little paintbrush. You see here, oh, a little fuzzy, little paintbrush. And I'm going to dip it in my Mod Podge, and then I'm going to paint little areas that I want to kind of have the different glowing features to it. And then we're going to use parchment paper to catch, and then we're going to dust it over the top. So you'll see we're going to work with one color at a time. So I'll work with the orange first. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to kind of scoop it out of here. It does have a sprinkle top. Let's see. Well, we'll see how the sprinkle top goes. But I usually scoop it. So. Oh, now that Mod Podge is going real slow. So I'm just going to scoop a little. I mean, you just need a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, guys, because you're just working with such a small amount for these tiny little bits that we're going to do. Now, the reason I'm doing it within the pumpkin is because the pumpkin will already be glowing, and I just want to add some color variance to it, some like texture in the glow by having the different colors. You can go in and add like the lines to your leaves and stuff in glow. It just depends on what type of glow feature you want and what you want to show through, because remember, if you just do a line, only that line is going to glow. So this whole thing is going to be glowing. I just want it to be glowing in multiple colors. So I'm just going to very carefully, you won't even see the Mod Podge, is I'm just going to paint a thin line that's going to follow like the lines of the pumpkin. And then I'm going to sprinkle on the glow powder. And so this pumpkin will be glowing, like this one will be orange, green, and then it'll have this little orange, little tendrils going through it. It's just to make it more detailed, have a little more fun. And why not push the envelope, guys? So you see, you got to work a little faster with Mod Podge because it does dry. So you might have to do a little bit and then add, and then sprinkle your powder, and then do a little bit more and sprinkle your powder and just work. I've got my giant house fan that sucks the air out of this room going, so it's drying this out real quick. But it's because I have epoxy working in another room next to me, and I don't want any of those fumes near me. Okay, so, oops. Oops, sorry guys, I just realized it was stopped recording for some reason. I happened to look up and I saw the button. So all I did was I just put those 3 lines on, and then I tapped the glow powder over it. Okay, so then I want to save the glow powder, so I have my piece of parchment down. And you're just going to leave it as this. In a minute, we're going to go through and dust all the excess off. Okay, so now I'm just going to keep going. And we're going to let that kind of dry up on there. And then we'll go back and dust it off so you guys can see a really good. So we're gonna just add our Mod Podge and then tap there we go. So you missed the first one I did because the stupid camera stopped recording. And then we're gonna do this side. So somebody was asking me the other day, can you just paint straight on with micas? So yes, you can. So you can do this with the glow powder, you can do this with micas. Honestly, if you try it and it works, you can do it. That's what I say, because everyone says, oh, you can't do it that way. And I was like, well, if someone does it and it works, then yes, you can do it. Like, not everybody's doing it that way, but it works for some people, so it's not a problem. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna just kind of get in here. I'm not gonna really brush the actual area. I'm just gonna kind of get that off a little bit, just so you guys can see. Normally I wouldn't even bother with this, but I want you guys to see it a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do this on, like every other pumpkin. I'm going to do the orange, and then every other pumpkin I'm going to go through and do that technique, just kind of highlight some features with the reddish pink, and we will be back. But you guys saw I just used this super duper thin little paintbrush. I got this one at Michael's. It comes in a big pack of a bunch of paintbrushes, and you can use your coupon. You get it cheaper. And Mod Podge, all right? So the Mod Podge is just what sticks it. Tap it, then you can save this, put it back in the bowl. So I'm just gonna go through and finish this. You don't need to tediously watch that. You kind of get the point there, and we will be back. All right, guys, there we go. I painted a little bit of detail on it. I didn't do it on every pumpkin. I didn't do it on every detail. I just did a little bit here and there. I am not confident I'm gonna love this pink one. I'm just iffy on it. The orange one I'm loving, but the pink one I'm just because I want it to look really rad when it glows, but I also want it to be a beautiful cup when it's not in the dark. So I'm not sure I'm going to feel once I clean these all up, but I'm going to give it a chance. So I'm going to leave the pink that I put on it, whoop, and I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to put it in front of a fan, let it dry. Then I'm going to take a paintbrush. We'll come back and I'll do it with you guys, and we'll brush off all this extra dust, and I will determine then how I feel about the pink being in this cup. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave this. I just wanted to show you that it was all done and kind of what it looks like in the process, and I'm going to go put it in front of a fan, and we'll be okay, guys, this has been not cooling, misspeaking, drying in front of a fan for about an hour, and I'm just going to take a really soft bristle brush, and we're going to try to brush that extra powder off the cup and just get it out of the way, because I'm a little concerned about this pink on these pumpkins. I'm not sure how I feel about it, so I want to definitely see it without all the extra powder on it to see what I think about it. I'm hoping we still get a really good glow with the minimal amount of powder used. All right, so yeah, so see, you can see, it's very hard to see it, but it's very simple. It's very mild, the detail. So the pink actually does look fine. I thought it was going to be a little more in your face, which is what I did not want. I wanted it to be subtle, but it is in fact subtle now that we've brushed it away. The leaf is a little bit more funky, but I'm hoping under epoxy that will end up looking okay. It's because I didn't paint within the lines, guys. I'm not an artist, guys. I'm a creator, not an artist. I'm not good at these straight lines and crazy stuff. So I can do all kinds of things with tumblers, but hand painting stuff is not my strength. But yeah, this will look fun. All right, so I am going to leave it. We're just going to get like this. This is a tutorial cup. It's not necessarily for a special order. Normally, if this was for an order, I probably would be removing that. But I'm very curious to see if that ends up looking good under epoxy, because it definitely looks beautiful on this pumpkin, the pink does. For some reason, this leaf, I'm not liking it, but it's mainly because I didn't paint in the lines. All right, guys, we're going to get this thing epoxied, and we will be back. And we will do the whole glow feature thing and show it off. All right, guys, there she is. She is all finished. That holographic vinyl, the holographic foil vinyl came out gorgeous as the words. And the pumpkins look beautiful. The details came out so well. I'm so, so excited. The fall leaves look beautiful, just kind of dripping down the top of the cup. I'm super stoked about the copper along the edge of the top. It just adds a fun little visual technique or just texture to the cup. I love it. This cup is already sold, guys, so sorry, somebody saw this already in my workshop and asked to buy it, so this one will not be available immediately, but if you love it, I can replicate it for you. You can check my Etsy shop or reach me through there. Check us out on Facebook, guys. I have a Facebook page. I do some mentorship there. I answer a lot of questions. I know there's a lot of newbies to this tumbler making, and there's a lot of questions because this is a very intricate art. So definitely jump on that Facebook group. The link is just below this tutorial. Check for the description box. It should be in the description below this tutorial. You can find us there and ask me as many questions as you guys want. There's also a shopping supply list below this tutorial in the same place as the links to the Facebook page and my Etsy and Instagram. So check out that shopping list. I tried to make it a little easy on you guys, but like I said, some of this stuff, like the stickers, came from Dollar Tree. So you just kind of got to get in your dollar store and see what you got. If you love just the fall stickers specifically and you don't see it in your store, Michael's and Hobby Lobby are really, really good sources for fun, beautiful stickers. All right, guys. I am going to adjust the camera, turn the lights off, and show you the glow feature. Here we go.